My name is Chuck Lyons. I am the director of television production here at Green High School. I'm also the executive producer of GCTV, which is our community TV station located in Green. Besides being a director of this program, I also teach a couple classes in media production. And during the first 9 weeks of the program, we really start out the program with introducing the students to basically our video cameras that we're going to be using. We start right from the get-go to going to our camera case where we keep all of our cameras housed. We have 6 cameras, and we have the students take the camera out of the camera case. They have to know how to unlatch it, how to get everything ready to go, but they take the camera out of the case, and then we start looking at the actual video camera, the Panasonic camera itself. We start to go over everything about the camera. The first thing we teach the students to do is say the camera has to have battery power, has to have some type of power, so we show them how to correctly take the battery, install the battery into the camera to give it some power to operate. Next, they learn how to properly load the tape into the camera by having to hit the basically open eject button so they can take the tape, they can drop the tape correctly into the camera, so the camera transport system will transport it back down into the camera and get everything loaded into it. After the tape is into the camera, then we actually start looking at a couple different features of the camera. First, we look at our little LED monitor, which monitors the shows us basically our images so we can compose. Besides the monitor, we also have a viewfinder that can be used where you can press your eye up against the viewfinder to see the image that's being produced. We did then look at the controls of the camera. We check over on the one side of our camera for the operation. How do we switch it from the camera mode to the VCR mode? And we check out some of these different controls of the camera. Once we know some of the basics of the camera, how to operate it, and we actually have the students go out and just practice doing some shooting with the camera, we like to introduce everyone to the tripod. We take our tripod and we want to mount the camera onto the tripod, which can be a little tough to do in sometimes. It just takes some practice to get that camera on there. But once the camera is mounted on the tripod, we look at the tripod and the different controls that are available. If we wanted to raise the camera straight up, maybe just a few inches, we would do what's called pedestaling. Easy for me to say. We have to pedestal up the camera, and we have controls to do that so we can raise it straight up or let it go straight back down. If we wanted to move our camera up and down in an arcing motion, we have a control which is called the tilt control, where the camera can be adjusted so we can do a nice slow tilt up and down. We have a third control on our tripod called the pan. Pan is a motion where if we want to move the camera left or move the camera right, that's called a pan. We have a control on the camera so we can either lock it down or we can control the amount of drag of the camera with the tension control on the tripod. So that introduces the camera and the tripod to the students. Also during the first part of the 9 weeks, we try to get everybody introduced to our TV studio and control room. We have quite an enormous TV studio. We're very fortunate to have a very, very large room with 3 cameras in the studio. We teach the students how to run the cameras where they're in the studio with a headset on, so they have an intercom system so they can communicate with the control room, and we will have 3 different cameras in our studio, and so we can film talk shows and news programs. As we move back into the control room, we have a vast array of equipment. We actually have a person that sits down at our computer that does our computer graphics. Any words, any kind of graphics that we see can be produced with the CG. We also have a person sitting operating the switcher, and the person's called the technical director or the TD, and they're able to pick out what shots that we want to use from the 3 cameras by using the switcher, punching up the correct bus and being able to switch from camera to camera. It takes some practice in order to do that. If we move on to the audio portion of our production, we have one person that's either controlling our MP3 players or our CD players for audio playback. We also have a person that's operating our audio mixer called the audio tech, and they're in control of everything audio-wise that we hear in our production, from the microphones to the CD player, and they're able to fade up and down, bring in different microphones at different times. We also have a person that operates a computer. Anytime we need anything off of the computer from the internet or from a PowerPoint program, this person can be operating the camera. We can call, or the computer, we can call that up. We also have a person sitting at another computer that operates the teleprompter. And the teleprompter allows words to be able to scroll up and down, so the talent in the studio will be able to read these words from the teleprompter. So everything we do in the control room is just like a professional TV studio that you would find up in Cleveland, Channel 3 or Channel 8. So during the first 9 weeks of the program, and that's pretty exciting, we give the students a chance to experience, you know, a lot of this, a lot of the technology that we have. If you'd like any more information about the program that we have here at Green High School, you could actually log on to www.greenlocalschools.org, and you could contact us that way. Or if you wanted to give me a phone call, you could reach me at 330-896-7563. That's a direct line to the office. I'd be more than happy to explain anything we do here at Green Community TV and the Green Production program here at Green High School.